and welcome to Dr. B Spills the Tea. We've got a good one today, all right?
Let's have it.
She writes in and asks, why do I leak urine when I run, laugh, jump, or sneeze? Why is this happening, and is it normal?
Okay, good question.
Okay.
This is officially called stress urinary incontinence.
Okay.
And that's when we leak urine when we put stress on the bladder. The reason that this is happening is because something about the angle or the position of the bladder or the urethra is causing you to leak urine.
Okay.
So unfortunately, there are things that we do in our lives that lead you to have stress and
let us know. Spill it. What are we doing?
Not to say that you would do things differently.
Okay.
But
all right.
how many children you've had
Okay.
affects the support in the pelvis.
All right.
So if the more kids you've had, the more likely you are to have leaking issues down the line. How big your children were at birth and how many hours you spent pushing them out determines how much pressure we put on the ligaments.
All right.
And in turn, the support that we have in our pelvis. There's other factors like if you have gained weight, for instance, that's a lot of downward pressure on the bladder.
Okay.
If you're ever a smoker, that affects the collagen in your body and in turn affects the ligament support.
Okay.
So unfortunately, we do things along the way, and with enough years of gravity also playing a role in pulling down the bladder, our bladder is now in a different position, or the urethra is in a different position, and it causes you to leak urine.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
Well, let me ask you this. So I've been in social situations where you'll go out with someone and they're like, okay, I'm not doing that because I'm not jumping.
Yeah.
Or if they
Like the
sneeze,
gym.
they have like the scariest look on their face, like, oh my gosh, was that okay that I just sneezed?
We've all done it. When you're
yeah.
like getting on your knees and then
You're like, oh my gosh, hold on. So like, I guess the question is there hope? Can we?
Yeah,
Can we
there's
do
hope.
this?
I mean, listen, like if you've gained some weight, losing weight will help.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the damage that we did to the pelvic floor in childbearing, you can't really undo that.
Okay.
But you can strengthen the
Strengthen it.
pelvic floor.
Okay.
The pelvic floor can be strengthened through physical therapy. Obviously, there's procedures, there's surgical procedures, non-surgical procedures. There's a lot of ways to correct it.
Okay.
The moral of the story is you definitely don't have to leak urine.
Okay.
It is absolutely fixable and correctable.
Okay.
But, you know, people come to me all the time and they say like, well, do I have to fix it? And the answer is no.
All right.
There's nothing harmful. There's nothing dangerous about it. It is just annoying in the day-to-day.
But it's embarrassing
Yeah.
to ask. So, I mean, I guess if someone were to come to you and ask and explain that story, you're just like, no big deal.
I mean, I hear it all the time.
You do? Okay.
It's a really common problem for women to have.
Okay.
Urinary problem for women, unfortunately, is one of the biggest problems because as we age, that's how many years gravity is working on our body and pulling down our bladder, unfortunately. But the moral of the story is it's not harmful.
Okay.
It's not dangerous. I get a question a lot about, will it get worse?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. But the pace at which it gets worse is unpredictable. Meaning it could be 2-3 years before things get worse. It could be 5 or 6 years. So you can't guarantee. But there's, you know, I really want just people to know if it's embarrassing, if you can't work out, you can't jump on the trampoline with your kids, you can't watch a comedy without laughing and leaking, then fix it.
Okay.
There's no reason to pee on yourself.
Okay.
There's just no reason for it.
Look at that. I think that's the moral of the story.
Yeah. Lots of ways to correct it. Yeah.
Thank you. I think the biggest thing of today is to open up the conversation. So if you're experiencing these symptoms, feel free to talk to your provider about that. That way they can talk to you and see, you know, a way to fix it so you feel better.
And we always start with testing, figure out why it's happening to you.
Yeah.
For some people, it's the urethra. For some people, it's the brain. You know, the brain and the bladder and the way that they communicate. For some people, it's the actual sensation in the bladder.
Okay.
It's overly fill and they don't have that signal goes to their brain. So we do testing, we figure out why it's happening, and then we give you options to correct it.
Awesome.
We
Okay.
got it.
Thanks for tackling another embarrassing question.
Sure.
And if you have a question that you'd like to ask Dr. B, definitely send it to us. It will be anonymous, and hopefully that will answer some questions for somebody else too. So.
Hey Lisa, I think today we should call this segment.
Oh yes, go ahead. What do you think?
Dr. B, spill the pee.
And she said it because I wasn't going to do it.
All right.
Thanks, bye.